My name is Matt Stover. I've been in the league since 1990, so that makes 19 years. And I grew up in Dallas, Texas, married 18 years, and I have 3 children.
Excellent.
Back in 1990, I got into the NFL from a life of, trying to acquire the NFL, thinking that I was good enough to play. And I got in the league in 1990. We won a Super Bowl. I was on injury reserve during the time with the New York Giants. And what ended up happening is after that year, I left and went to the Cleveland Browns because Bill Belichick left the New York Giants and became a Cleveland Brown head coach. And during the course of that first year of 1991, I had experienced, a lot of ups and downs, and the NFL really did not feel that sense of accomplishment that I so desired, that I thought it would, actually, give me. When you look at life, if the world tells you, hey, if you acquire the NFL and the money and the fame and all the things that this world can give you, if you get it, you're going to be satisfied. Well, I got through with that first year in 1991, and I was just emptier than ever because it just did not fill me. So at that point, I had a question that I needed to ask myself, because I grew up in church. I understood who Christ was, but I had never really understood that he needed to become a personal Savior for me. He needed to be intimate with me, and not just in a sense of awe, but in a sense of, hey, Dad, how's it going? And I really didn't understand that, but during the course of that year, I did miss a field goal to tie a game. 19-yard field goal, believe it or not, and it was the most humiliating point in my career. Still has been, because at that point, if we would have won that game, we would have had an opportunity to go into the playoffs, but we missed it and totally blew our opportunity. And I go down on my knee at that point, and I just say, Lord, help me. And I didn't really understand what I was asking, but it wasn't until February of 1992, after the season was over, when I had the gospel presented to me at an athletes outreach called Pro Athletes Outreach, or PAO, who I still work with a lot. And I heard a man talk about Mark 8:34 and 35. So what good is it for a man to gain the whole world, but yet forfeit his own soul? Because at the time, if you look at, I had the whole world. The world had been given to me, the NFL, and the understanding of, if you have it, there's the success, there's the satisfaction, and it wasn't there. I was more empty. So believe it or not, through the success that I had in my life of acquiring the NFL is really what took me to understanding who Christ was, because it did not fill me up. Wow. I had to investigate to some extent as well to understand who Jesus was. And after the gospel was presented to me, it was so clear, and it was a choice that I needed to make. And the choice, my thoughts are, what I tell some people is, what's it going to hurt you if you do? Nothing, but what could it hurt you if you don't? And the ramifications of your eternal salvation's at hand. And Jesus says in John 14:6 that I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. He doesn't claim to be a good prophet or a good man. He claims to be God. He claims to be God's Son. And through the death and resurrection of his life, we now have eternal salvation through his death and his life and his blood that he shed for us. And he's not claiming to be, I want to repeat that, some good person. No, he's claiming to be the I am. And to me, that is the question I had. That's the choice I had to make. And I made that. The easy part, I believe, is accepting Jesus. The hard part for me has been to walk with Jesus every day. And it is a choice that I have to make. And those choices sometimes are difficult because I get filled selfishly. But overall, I would have to say that purpose in life is there. And I now have a direction in life. I don't have to waller in this world not knowing where, trying to acquire material possessions or trying to become the best in the NFL, even though my desire is to be, and I continue to work to be. But it's not who and where I gain my purpose from. So with that perspective, what it has allowed me to do in my life is to put things in priority. Faith, family, relationships, which I call friends, and then football.